Hi, morning traders. Welcome to Market Snapshot. I hope everyone is ready for the market moves later at night. So we normally say a good trader is one who combines technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and sentimental analysis. And so the first thing you should do as a trader is make sure that you've checked out your economic calendar. You want to see what possible news could affect your positions, because we've seen at times you've analyzed your markets pretty well, but then you didn't take note of some economic news that will come up, and within no time you take a hit in your trading account. So it's always good as traders for us to make sure that you go to the economic calendar. And here in this case, we're going to go to Forex Factory. On Wednesday, we had some early in the morning. Yesterday, I remember sharing this with a mentorship class. Told guys to look at what could happen at 5 a.m. Right, and if we go to NZD USD, you will see the market moves that played out. Right, there was some volatility, courtesy of the interest rate decision and the monetary policy statement and rate statement that came up. So it's always good for you. So for someone who was buying NZD USD at some point in time, took a loss, right? And maybe if they kept selling, thinking that the market will continue going up, they were taken out by the bullish move. So it's always good for us to take note of this fundamental analysis. So when you talk about FOMC meeting minutes, basically it's a detailed record of the FOMC most recent meeting. Remember 3 weeks ago we had that meeting. Was it on 6th, right? Where we had that outlook where they maintained the interest rate, but now this one will be more detailed, right? So we'll want to hear like what these guys are saying in terms of even votes. How did they vote? Who voted what, right? And also, if you look at maybe this one, we've heard Powell say that the updated language in the FOMC policy statement signaled that Powell's feisty display was not a one-man act. Rather, it channeled the mood among officials. It was blunt, saying the committee judges that the risks of higher unemployment and higher inflation have risen. This is what you call stagflation, right? So this is the risk that has been brought about by the tariffs. The tariff wars, and we all know, like last week we had, was it this week on Sunday, where Trump had threatened to impose 50% tariff on the EU. So that subsided until July, but then we can see that uncertainty, right? Powell has been on record saying that inflation is something that they can't rule out. Remember, their goal is to make sure that there is maximum employment, one, and tame inflation below 2%. So that tells you that they have to make sure that they are doing this. Politics aside, for them, that's their role. Their work is cut out, right? So we will be seeing a lot of moves later at 9, but then what will matter is the tone from the minutes, right? Like if it's dovish, like basically here the dovish aspect is that they expect that there'll be further rate cuts. We will see the weakening of the dollar, and that means we could see the strengthening of Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, the weakening of USD JPY, USD CHF, right? However, if they have a hawkish stance, right? If from the minutes it will be hawkish, basically, when we see in the minutes, they'll point it out and say like the persistent inflation, due to tariffs or trade policies. If we see that, then of course traders will interpret this to mean that we don't expect rate cuts in September, right? And so July, September. So that will be something that will lead to the strengthening of the dollar, right? And that means it will be a sell on gold, GBP USD, Euro USD. Yeah, so we expect to see a lot of volatility moving in, and as traders, our work is to make sure that you have a trading plan around it. Just don't enter the market out of emotions. right? Don't enter the market with emotions. Just set out a plan that says, hey, I'm looking for opportunities to buy when price gets here, and I'll need to look at other confirmations before I enter that market. It's very critical that you have confirmations. This is a business, just like any other business out there. You don't just open a business because you found a location. No, there are so many aspects that you'll consider, like your competitor. You'll want to look at your clientele, your marketing plan, and all that, right? So the same thing in trading. Let's treat this as a business, serious business, right? Before you execute your trade, remember, when you're executing, your hard-earned money is at stake, right? So there are conditions that must be fulfilled. If they've not been fulfilled, why don't you sit on your hands, right? Just say, hey, I don't see this trade falling in line with my plan, and so for that reason, let me stay away from this one, let me go to another one. If that lines up with your trading plan, then you can take that trade, right? As that's the essence of having a trading plan. Helps you sieve out bad decisions in trading. Remember, you crafted this plan in the right state of mind. You are not emotional. So that is something that you can always go back to before you execute your trade. Refer to your written trading plan. That, hey, before I look for buy opportunities, these are the conditions that must be fulfilled. If before I look for sell opportunities, these are the conditions that must be fulfilled. If you have that, then you reduce your losses, right? And of course, during this time, we all know we are in the Trump presidency. Make sure that you have risk management in place, right? Because he can tweet anything, right? Like, no one expected his 50% tariff threat to the EU. No one expected that, right? So those are the uncertainties we are saying, right? And this is the same thing that the Fed is like, okay, there's so much uncertainty, it's a wait and see. But then again, let's see what they'll spell out at 9. But you can be sure there'll be some volatility in the market. So with that understanding of what to expect, let's go to our charts and analyze. We've just done some fundamental analysis, possible outlooks, but now let's go to the technical analysis. And we'll go to the MT5. As you join in, prepare your questions. I'll have a look at them towards the end. Okay, so we'll start off with Euro USD. Let's go to higher time frames. Where are we at, and what are we looking for? Okay, this could be a signal that we could see some bears coming in. So I would be looking for, what did price do? It tested this order block, right? Yeah, this order block has been tested earlier today, and that has led to that bullish move. You can see the order block that was tested, right? Price tested that order block, and then there was that 8 pips move. Huh? So I'll be looking for a bullish move before we seek sell opportunities, and probably I would want to see Euro USD test this order block right here, 1350, right? I would want to see 1350 tested, or the moving average. There are two areas here that will be tested that would act as some resistance levels. So I would want to see a bullish move to 1342 or 1350. Then from there, I would anticipate some bears to step in to 1. That's an area I would want to see 1257. There's also this order block on H1. You can see this one. This bullish order block is an area where I would want to probably see the market get to. So if I were to look for opportunities, I'll be looking for sell opportunities. The sell opportunities have a higher risk to reward, right? Because I'm looking at price getting around here or there and then drop maybe 57 pips. First take profit will be here, this low, then maybe a continuation of the same to that price level, 1257. So that's what I'm looking at on Euro USD as a possible move. There's also a possibility of Euro USD coming to this 1350. It's also called a quarter point, so it could be tested, and that is what I'm looking at, right? I wouldn't want to get caught up in this FOMO, fear of missing out where the market seems to be dropping. No, I would want to see price probably test that area before seeking sell opportunities. Let's go to GBP USD. What are we looking at? Go to higher time frames. Going to the weekly, maybe I can map this order block that has been tested before. Yeah. So that's a possible area where price, I would want to see price go to. Let's go to H4. Oh, interesting. You can see there's another block also here, right? On H4, right? So 35 is an area that is of interest. I would probably want to see GBP USD get there. And what will be my take profit? Has this order block been tested? Not yet. So you can see this bullish order block, which is the last bearish candle before this move that broke this structure, right? So this will be a take profit, a possible area of support that we'll be looking at. So I would be looking for a bullish move. I'll be looking for a bullish move on GBP USD. Could go to 35. Nothing stops GBP USD from testing this order block also, which is 35.47, right? And then maybe from there, we could see some bears coming in to that moving average. Yeah, it's an interesting play to this moving average. So that's what I'll be looking at as a possible move today. This could play out maybe during this session, New York session, or during FOMC minutes. That's a possibility. We could see some of these moves play out. Now, remember, as traders, our work is to trade based on confirmations. Just because price has come to these areas doesn't mean that you'll take trades, right? For those who've attended the mentorship class, we know the confirmations that we need to look at. Go to lower time frames, right? Go to M5, go to M5, M15, M5. Wait for price to get to the 70 region, right? Once it gets to the 70 region, look for the bearish engulfing, look for the evening star, look for the shooting star, look for bearish tweezers. The moment you see those patterns play out, that will come into play, right? So only take trades that have confirmations. Okay, so let's look at Audi USD. What are we looking at on Audi USD? Go to higher time frames. So going to higher time frame, sorry, I can see a possible area of support at 64.15, and also this moving average, the 50 EMA. Remember, you can use the moving averages as take profit targets, right? So with that, let's map out the opportunities. What are we looking at? I would want to see a bullish move to maybe the Asian high. This is the highest price during Asian session from midnight to 9 a.m. So that's an area I would want to see AUD-USD test before seeking sell opportunities. So I would want to see a bullish move to that price level, and then a bearish move to that area. There's a possibility of us having, let me see, H4 last week's low. So once again, we can use the moving averages as take profit targets, right? So that one is also a possible area. Interesting. There's also the 800 moving average there. So these are possible take profit targets that could also act as support, but I think minor support, right? It all depends on how the markets play out, right? As we go into FOMC minutes. That's AUD-USD. NZD-USD, this is what I was saying. Someone who was bullish, someone who was buying, was taken out by this move, and then there was that bullish move that played out. So let's look at opportunities on NZD USD. What are we looking at? Go to higher time frames, seek possible areas of resistance. One, I can see an order block here on H4, which is a bearish order block, the last bullish candle before a move down. So the 59.91 is an area, it's a possible area where NZD USD could test. So if I were to look for opportunities on this currency, I'd probably want to see it get currency pair. I would want it to hit this area before dropping. That would be take profit 1, maybe take profit 2 here, which is the Asian low, today's low. There is we could encounter some buyers, but then I think they are minor buyers. And then that moving average also could act as a take profit target. So that's what I would want to see on NZD USD. Yeah, a bullish move. I wouldn't take this buy, of course. I would want to see price get here and then take a sell. Remember, once again, risk to reward. You want to take trades that have a good risk to reward. Risk 20 pips to gain 60 pips. That's 1:3, right? So that means if you have, let's say, if you take a win, if you take 60 pips and you have a losing trade, maybe 2 consecutive losing trades, you'll still be plus 20 pips, right? So that's why it's important for us to have a good risk to reward. So I can only take a sell on NZD USD when it gets there. Gold. Let's go to higher time frames. This one will be affected by the minutes. We'll see some volatility. So maybe we can have a look at this area as a possible resistance on gold. Yeah, I would want to see that bullish play, test that area, and then maybe see some bears coming in to that moving average. And maybe a continuation of the same to today's low. Knowing how volatile gold is, it can also decide to test yesterday's high. That's a possible area gold can go to, right? Yeah, so your work is to wait for confirmations. If gold comes here and doesn't give you a bearish engulfing, an evening star, shooting star, bearish tweezers, then that means we still have some more moves to the upside, right? There's still some liquidity up here that needs to be tapped before dropping, if it's dropping. Remember, at the end of the day, FOMC minutes will come with its fair share of volatility. We could see some sharp moves, and it's interesting that if you map out your areas, these support and resistance areas, most of these news will come and hit your support and resistance areas, right? They hit those areas, maybe reverse or breakout, right? So always look out for those opportunities, but only take trades based on confirmations. Let's look at USD CHF. Okay, so I would want to see a bearish move on this one. I would want to see NZD USD, sorry, USD CHF, test this moving average. Yeah, so I can only take trades on USD CHF if it comes down to 8250. 8250 is also a quarter point area, so there's some possibilities of us having some bulls over there, and then maybe from there we could see some bullish play. A 90 pips move to this moving average. Though there's another block that has not been tested, this one at 83.18. 83.18. Maybe that could be a good take profit target before maybe proceeding to that moving average. Let's look at Nasdaq UT100. There's something that we need to take note of, and I think I've addressed this. We have some gaps on Nasdaq that need to be filled. Yeah, we need to see these gaps before we see a long-term bullish move on Nasdaq. These gaps need to be filled. That one, and of course this one. These areas, they will need to be filled. So if you're an indices trader, be on the lookout, right? Be on the lookout on this one, because this will definitely be an area that will be tested at some point. When, I don't know, but based on the uncertainty that we have, this is a possibility. Remember, we still have the 90 days window, right? Which Trump gave. So after that, maybe we could see some more bearish moves on Nasdaq before a continuation of the bullish push. Yeah, ideally, we'd want to see Nasdaq maybe test this moving average. Why? Why do we need to see this? Look at history. You know, we normally say technical analysis is where we look at our left to trade our right. Okay, so 2018, look at what price did on the moving average. 2019, moving average. 2022, moving average. And so we expect the same to play out. Price to get to the moving average before a continuation. Now, that's where maybe we could see these gaps being filled. So be on the lookout on those particular moves, right? And also, if it's too volatile, we could see that order block being tested. 14,825 may look far-fetched, but hey, this is the market. It could surprise us, right? So that's, be on the lookout on that one. If you're hoping to be a position trader, you might want to be wary of this, right? That at some point in time, before we have that long-term bullish move, these gaps have to be closed. Okay, what else? What have I not analyzed? Let me see from your comments. Let's have a look at your feedback. Hey, morning, everyone. USD JPY. Okay, USD JPY. Let's have a look at. Oh, seriously, I didn't analyze that. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, those who were in the mentorship class, you remember you were looking for buys on USD JPY, right? So let's go to higher time frames. Okay, so USD JPY needs to come to this moving average. Needs to come to 145.54. That's a high probability area where USD JPY will needs to come to. It's interesting because I can see that was last week's high. Look at that. Could have been last week's high. So remember, last week's high is also an area, and I think looking at it from this angle, it's an order block also, right? So we could see some stiff resistance at 145.54 on USD JPY. So if you miss the bullish move and price gets here, go look for your confirmations and see whether it will play out as a bearish move. So let's see our entry, because we are looking for long opportunities. Okay, maybe here we can use the moving averages to act as resistance, sorry, as support. Maybe a bearish move to this 50 moving average. This is the 50 moving average on H1. And then from there, yeah, from there, we could see some bulls coming in, maybe to push price to 145.54, around 170 pips. UT100. I've already talked about UT100. Then John, kindly go through this clip later. We've just analyzed it. This one. Did I give the outlook? Oh, I didn't give the outlook. What are we looking at? Okay, now I get it. Let's go to H4, higher time frames. Have we tested last week's high? Let's see. Not yet. So that is last week's high. We definitely need to see that area tested. So what is leading to these bearish moves is this order block, right? This is what led to that first move. Then the bears came in, but now I think Nasdaq needs to test this price level. Let me look at it from lower time frames. Yeah, so maybe I would want to see a bearish move and then a bullish one to that price level. Alternatively, there's also an order block here. This bullish order block can also be tested, either the moving average or the order block, and then maybe we can see a push up. I see a lot of requests on Eurocard. Let's go to Eurocard. Okay, I don't have it here. Let's look at it from higher time frames. Wow, it's been ranging, right? Let me see, has this order block been tested? Yes, it has been tested. Okay, so I'll probably be looking for buy opportunities on Eurocard. No, it's screaming more of sell. Eurocard crosses are just a totally different animal, yeah, when it comes to analyzing them. Let me see that area. It's a moving average. Okay, so I would probably want to see that play on Eurocard. Why don't we have DXY on MetaTrader 4? Are you sure? I don't use MetaTrader 4, Naomi. So you might want to shift to MetaTrader 5. It's more advanced, has more features as compared to MT4. Because if you come here, you'll see the index. You can see the index. So Naomi, you might want to download the MT5. Okay. No further questions, right? So thank you for your time. Kindly observe risk management, right? Very important. I don't want to be in that situation where after you've blown your account today at 9, tomorrow you start seeing those awesome setups that are undisputed, right? It's a clear buy, it's a clear sell, but you don't have money to trade. Don't be that trader. Follow your plan. Plan your trades, follow the plan while using risk management. Okay, so those who are interested, kindly join the mentorship class. I just want to go to the under this video. You'll see the information contained in this video is for educational purposes, should not be construed as investment advice. You will see somewhere every Monday to Thursday, there's the FX Pesa morning class, which is the mentorship class. And then there's the every Monday to Thursday, FX Pesa evening. This is the beginners class. So if you know someone who's a beginner and they're struggling, they might want to join these classes, register, and they'll be good to go, right? At least they'll have knowledge on what they're doing instead of gambling. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. Cheers. Bye bye.